We're gonna do some unboxing today. Isn't this fun? Okay, let's get back to business. So really, there wasn't that much to unbox. I ended up buying a Amaran 300C and a 150C, both of which are RGB Bowens mount lights. And I kind of wanted to take this opportunity to talk about why I decided to upgrade from LED panels to Bowens mount video lights, and hopefully some of this information will help you make a decision about a purchase that you are looking at. I guess first, let me explain what my previous setup was. If you watch any of my previous videos that I film at home, my key light setup has always been 2 LED panels with a 2-foot and 4-foot diffuser mounted in front of them. The LED panels themselves do have softboxes. They're like square magnetic ones, but I always found them to be too hassle-some to set up for every video shoot. So this time around, the single biggest driver for me to purchase these Bowens mount lights is so that I can use them with standard Bowens mount softboxes. So right now this scene is being lit by the Amaran 300C with a 36-inch dual diffused softbox in front of it. No grid, nothing fancy, just a really nice softbox. I'll throw up some footage that I shot previously as a comparison between the two lighting setups in this space. As you can see on the left side, when I'm using the dual LED panels with the diffuser panel in front, there is quite a bit of light spill, and the roll off to the shadows isn't quite as nice, it's very choppy. The improvement in color accuracy is something that I quite enjoy as well. Having spent very little time grading new footage, I do notice that the colors are easier to work with. Okay, so with the advantage of Bowens mount lights versus LED panels out of the way, here are 5 reasons I think for anyone who's considering to get a new video light, you should buy something that is more powerful than you think you need. Assuming all of this falls within your budget, of course. Reason number 1, you will eventually need a more powerful lamp. Whether it's next week, next month, or next year, there might be a project that comes along where you say, this lamp is no longer enough for me. You might need a more powerful light just to shoot with a lower f-stop, or to overcome some room lights, or even to overcome window light. Or you might even say, I need a light that's a different temperature or color. At that point, you're gonna have to go out and buy a new light to satisfy those needs. Whereas if you invest in a better, more powerful light today, you get all of the flexibility that better light gives you today, and it will satisfy the needs for those future projects. Reason number 2, if you're considering bicolor lights or RGB lights, you're going to need a higher power rating, because bicolored lights and RGB lights simply do not have the same power output as a daylight balanced lamp, even at the same power rating. To illustrate this, we can take a look at the difference between a Amaran 200D versus a Amaran 200BI. Both of these are 200 watt lights. The Amaran 200D has a single color temperature at 5600 Kelvin, whereas the 200BI has a range of temperatures you can choose from, but the maximum light output for the 200BI is still at 5600 Kelvin. And if you look at the comparison between these two lights at 5600 Kelvin, the Amaran 200D is rated to provide more light than the 200BI. This difference would be more exaggerated if you're looking at a comparison between a 300 watt daylight balanced lamp and the 300C that I'm shooting on, which is an RGB light. Reason number 3, sometimes practical lights suck. So this arch lamp is really pretty. It's something that I really like having in my scene, but I had a bit of a problem with it when I was shooting with LED panels, and it's because this lamp is on a dimmer. It flickers at like a very high frequency. I can't see it with my eye, but the camera picks it up very well. So for a couple of the other videos that I've been working on, all of those scenes I had to shoot at 1/30th of a second shutter speed. This light, which is powered by a really reliable power supply, will be able to overpower all of those flickering problems. Reason number 4 is If you're in the market for both a video light and a photography flash, you can combine that budget into one and get a much brighter video light that you can use for photography as well. The requirement for light output in photography is much higher than videography. This light is at 45% power and I'm shooting at f2.8, 1/60th of a second shutter and ISO 640. If we extrapolate and say it's at full power, I would be able to shoot at f2.8, 1/120th of a second shutter and ISO 640. That I would consider fairly comfortable for sit-down portraits. For any sort of action, obviously, you're going to need something much, much brighter. But for the portraiture that I've been doing for the past year or so, this light in itself will be quite sufficient as a key light. Reason number 5, and this will be for the most bourgeoisie of the audience that I'm talking to, high-power premium video lights have silent modes, where they reduce the maximum power output, but the fan simply does not spin up to give you a perfectly silent recording environment. The light that I bought doesn't have that. In my videos, I do a bit of post-processing to get rid of noise, and you also see me use lav mics instead of shotgun mics or off-camera mics, because those type of microphones do tend to pick up more environmental noise. For example, in this scene, this lamp technically does make a bit of sound, but that's not the loudest thing here. Halfway through this video, you would have heard my fridge going, and 2 or 3 feet to your left, there's a laptop with all my notes on it that whose fans are just spinning up actually. But yeah, good video lights will have silent recording modes. So those are the 5 reasons that I think for anyone trying to get a video light right now, you should aim just a little brighter than what you think you need. And this has been my first attempt at justifying the purchase of these 2 new lights. I hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you around.